She shocked me by saying, "I can leave anytime. Boys are lining up for me." I nodded toward the door and said, "As you wish." She stomped out. 2 weeks later she came back. I opened the door, told her to come in, and pointed toward the wall. The moment she looked at the wall, her world fell apart. Dear friends, please subscribe to my channel. It's very important for my encouragement. Thank you. I'm 27, and until recently, I thought I had my life figured out. I'd been with Maya for 3 years. We met at a mutual friend's birthday party, hit it off immediately, and within 6 months, she'd moved into my apartment. She was beautiful, charismatic, and had this energy that made every room feel alive. But somewhere along the way, that energy turned into something else entirely. The fight started small. I'd forget to text her back within an hour, and she'd accuse me of ignoring her. I'd make plans with friends, and she'd guilt-trip me until I canceled. At first, I thought it was just her being insecure, so I tried to be more attentive. I cut back on seeing my friends. I checked in constantly, but it was never enough. She wanted access to my phone, my emails, my social media passwords. When I hesitated, she'd cry and say I must be hiding something. Then came the financial stuff. Maya had quit her job about a year into our relationship, claiming her boss was toxic. I supported her. I paid for everything: rent, groceries, her car insurance, her credit card bills. She said she was looking for work, but months passed with nothing. When I gently suggested she take any job temporarily, she'd explode. "You think I'm not trying? You think I'm lazy?" The arguments would spiral for hours. Despite everything, I stayed. I kept telling myself relationships took work, that every couple went through rough patches. My friends started avoiding me because she'd cause scenes whenever we all hung out. My mom stopped calling as much because Maya would listen in on speakerphone and make snide comments afterward. I was isolated, exhausted, and honestly, I was starting to lose myself. The breaking point came on a Tuesday night. I'd had a brutal day at work, and when I got home, I just wanted to decompress. Maya was on the couch, scrolling through her phone, and didn't even look up when I walked in. "Hey," I said, setting my bag down. "How was your day?" "Fine." I went to the kitchen, heated up some leftovers, and sat down next to her. She immediately shifted away from me. "What's wrong?" I asked. "Nothing." I knew that tone. Nothing was never nothing. "Maya, come on. Talk to me." She turned to face me, eyes cold. "I saw you liked some girl's Instagram post today." I blinked. "What?" "That girl from your college. The one with the blonde hair. You liked her photo." I genuinely had no idea what she was talking about. I scrolled through Instagram mindlessly during lunch breaks. "I don't even remember." "Of course you don't remember." She stood up, voice rising. "Because you do it so often, right? You're probably messaging her too." "Maya, I'm not messaging anyone. You're being ridiculous." Wrong choice of words. Her face went red. "Ridiculous? I'm ridiculous for caring that my boyfriend is flirting with other women." "I'm not flirting, you know what." She cut me off, grabbing her purse. "I'm done with this. I'm done with you treating me like I'm crazy. I can leave anytime. Boys are lining up for me. I could have anyone I want." Something inside me just snapped. Not into anger, but into clarity. I'd heard variations of this threat before, always delivered when she wanted me to grovel and beg her to stay. But this time, I was just tired. So tired. I stood up, walked to the front door, and opened it. Then I looked at her calmly and said, "As you wish." Her jaw dropped. "What? You said you can leave. So leave. Are you serious right now?" "Completely." She stared at me for a long moment, clearly waiting for me to backtrack. When I didn't, she grabbed her phone and keys, stormed past me, and slammed the door so hard a picture frame fell off the wall. I stood there in the silence of my apartment, and for the first time in months, I felt like I could breathe. Update 1. The first few days were strange. I kept expecting her to come back, to call, to show up crying and apologizing. She didn't. Instead, I got a barrage of texts from her friends telling me I was heartless, that I'd abandoned her, that she was devastated. I blocked most of them. Then I started finding things. While cleaning out the apartment, I discovered a second phone hidden in one of her drawers. It was locked, but the fact that it existed at all sent my mind racing. Why would she need a secret phone? I called my buddy Jason, who works in IT. He came over that weekend with some tools and managed to get into it. What we found made my stomach turn. Messages. Hundreds of them. With at least 5 different guys. Flirty messages, explicit photos, plans to meet up. Some of the conversations went back over a year. There were messages from the nights she'd told me she was at her friend's house. From the weekends, she'd said she needed space. From the afternoons, she claimed she had job interviews. Dude, Jason said, scrolling through. This is bad. One conversation in particular caught my attention. A guy named Derek. They'd been talking for 8 months. He was asking her when she was going to leave me. Her response, soon. I just need to figure out the money situation first. The money situation. I felt sick. I kept reading. She'd told Derek I was controlling, abusive, that she was scared of me. None of it was true. She'd told another guy, Marcus, that she was single and living alone. She'd sent another guy photos and lingerie I'd bought her for our anniversary. Jason looked at me. What are you going to do? I don't know yet, I said. But I'm not telling her I found this. Not yet. Update 2. For the next week and a half, I played it cool. Maya texted me a few times, casual stuff, testing the waters. Hey, how are you? I miss our apartment. I kept my responses short and neutral. She didn't know I had the phone. She didn't know I knew everything. During this time, I did something I probably should have done years ago. I checked our finances. She had access to one of my credit cards for emergencies. The statement made me nauseous. Hundreds of dollars at high-end restaurants I'd never been to. Boutique purchases. A hotel room. All while she was supposedly broke and I was covering her half of everything. I contacted a lawyer. Just a consultation. He advised me to document everything, keep records, and be prepared for her to try to take me for whatever she could if things got legal. I also changed all my passwords and removed her access to my accounts. Then, exactly 2 weeks after she left, my doorbell rang at 9 p.m. I looked through the peephole. Maya. She was dressed up, makeup done, holding a bottle of wine. The same wine we'd shared on our first date. I took a breath, opened the door, and said calmly, "Come in." She smiled. That smile that used to make me forget everything. I knew you'd take me back. "Just come in," I repeated, stepping aside. She walked in, heels clicking on the hardwood. I've been thinking a lot, and I realize I overreacted. We both said things we didn't mean, but we can work through this. Look at the wall, I said, pointing to the living room. She turned, confused. What? The wall. Look at it. She walked over, and her face went white. I'd spent the last week creating a display. Printed screenshots of every conversation from the secret phone, organized by Guy. Photos she'd sent. Messages where she called me names, lied about me, planned to use me. Bank statements highlighted with her fraudulent charges. A timeline of her lies. It covered the entire wall like some deranged detective's caseboard. What is this? Her voice cracked. That's you, I said evenly. That's who you really are. She spun around, panic in her eyes. Where did you get? How did you? Your second phone. The one you thought I'd never find. You went through my things? You invaded my privacy. I almost laughed. Your privacy? Maya, you've been cheating on me for over a year. You've been stealing from me. You've been telling people I'm abusive. I can explain. No. I held up my hand. You can't. There's no explanation for this that makes it okay. I wanted you to see it. I wanted you to look at what you've done and know that I know. All of it. She started crying. Not the manipulative crying I'd seen before, but genuine, ugly crying. Please. I made mistakes. I was confused. I love you. You love my money. You love having someone to control. But you don't love me. You never did. That's not true. Get out, Maya. Where am I supposed to go? Call one of those boys who are lining up for you. I'm sure Derek would be happy to help with your money situation. Her face crumpled. She looked at the wall one more time, then back at me. For a moment, I thought she might try to rip it all down. But instead, she just turned and walked out. No slamming this time. Just defeat. Update 3. The fallout was immediate. Maya tried to control the narrative, posting vague things on social media about betrayal and heartbreak. Her friends came after me online. But I didn't engage. I didn't post anything. I just let her dig her own grave. Then Derek reached out to me. Turns out, he'd found out about me and the other guys. She'd been playing all of us. He apologized, said he'd been lied to, and asked if I wanted to file any kind of joint complaint. I declined. I just wanted to move on. Maya's parents called me. Her dad apologized profusely, said they had no idea she'd been acting this way, and offered to pay back some of what she'd stolen. I told them it wasn't their responsibility, but I appreciated the gesture. Her mom cried on the phone, saying they'd tried to raise her better. I felt bad for them. They seemed like decent people who were just as blindsided as I was. A mutual friend later told me Maya had moved back in with her parents and was working at a retail store. She'd apparently tried to reconnect with Derek, but he'd blocked her. Marcus found out about everything and publicly called her out. Her social circle basically imploded. As for me, I threw out everything that reminded me of her. I repainted the living room wall. I started seeing a therapist to work through the gaslighting and manipulation I'd endured. I reconnected with friends I'd neglected. I took a weekend trip with Jason and some other buddies, and for the first time in years, I felt like myself again. Final update. It's been 4 months now. I'm doing better than I ever thought I would. I went on a few dates, nothing serious yet, but I'm not in a rush. I'm learning to trust my instincts again, to recognize red flags, to value my own peace over someone else's drama. I found out through the grapevine that Maya tried to reach out to me through a new number last month. I didn't respond. There's nothing left to say. She made her choices, and now she's living with the consequences. My apartment feels like mine again. I rearranged the furniture, bought some new art, adopted a dog named Charlie. My friends joke that he's better company than Maya ever was, and honestly, they're right. The wall is gone, but I kept one screenshot. Not to obsess over, but as a reminder. A reminder that I deserve better. That I'm worth more than being someone's safety net while they shop around for something better. That walking away from toxicity isn't giving up, it's choosing yourself. Sometimes I think about that night she came back. The look on her face when she saw that wall. Part of me wonders if she ever truly understood what she'd done, or if she just saw herself as the victim in all of this. I'll never know, and I'm okay with that. I'm just glad I finally opened the door and showed her the exit. Edit 1. A lot of people are asking what happened to the evidence on the wall. I took photos of everything before I took it down, and I have them backed up in 3 places. My lawyer advised me to keep them in case she tries anything legal down the road. So far, she hasn't. Edit 2. Yes, I reported the credit card fraud to my bank. They reversed most of the charges and flagged her for suspicious activity. She'll have a hard time pulling that on anyone else. Edit 3. Charlie is a rescue mutt, probably part lab, part something else. He's the best decision I've made all year.